I didn't know you could do this, but there's a Bumble for friends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so she got on Bumble for friends and has been going
meeting with friends that way. That's cool.
Who's she?
His girlfriend.
Oh,
sounds
The
like
one that was on the
meetup.
boat.
We're live. Hey, people. Reading the 12-week year. Chapter 3. The emotional connection. Effective execution isn't complicated, but it's not necessarily easy either. In fact, most people and companies struggle to execute well. Execution invariably requires taking new actions, and new actions are often uncomfortable. When faced with a course of action that includes difficult or uncomfortable tasks, the short-term costs of taking action can seem so much greater than the long-term benefits of reaching the goal. Because of this, individuals and entire organizations often abandon both the tasks and ultimately the entire strategy. We have found from experience that to execute successfully, it is essential to have a strong emotional stake in the outcome. Without a compelling reason to choose otherwise, most people will take comfortable actions over uncomfortable ones. The issue is that the important actions are often the uncomfortable ones. In our experience, the number one thing that you will have to sacrifice to be great, to achieve what you are capable of, and to execute your plans is your comfort. The secret to living your life to its potential is to value the important stuff above your own comfort. Therefore, the critical first step to executing well is creating and maintaining a compelling vision of the future that you want even more than you desire your own short-term comfort, and then aligning your shorter-term goals and plans with that long-term vision. Think about what you truly want to achieve. What legacy do you want to create? What do you want for yourself and for your family? What do you want spiritually? What level of security do you seek? What level of income and fulfillment do you want from your career? What interests do you wish you could pursue? What do you really want to do with the time you have been allotted? If you are going to perform at a high level, take new ground, and be great, then you better have a vision that is compelling. In order to achieve a level of performance that is greater than your current performance, you will need a vision of the future that is bigger than the present. You must find a vision with which you are emotionally connected. You must find a vision. Without a compelling vision, you will discover there is no reason to go through the pain of change. Behind every impossible achievement is a dreamer of impossible dreams. Robert K. Greenleaf. Vision is the starting point of all high performance. You create things twice, first mentally, then physically. The biggest barrier to high performance is not the physical manifestation, but the mental creation. You will never outpace your mental models. Vision is the first place where you engage your thinking about what is possible for you. You must be clear on what it is you want to create. Most people focus primarily on their business or career, but business is just a part of life, and it is actually your life vision that gives you traction and relevance to your business. That is why we begin with your personal vision, what you want your life to look like in the future. After that is established, we move on to what your business needs to look like in order to align with and enable your personal vision. The more personally compelling your vision is, the more likely it is that you will act upon it. It is your personal vision that creates an emotional connection to the daily actions that need to take place in your business. In order to tap the incredible power of your vision, you need a future that is bigger than the present. If you're going to create a breakthrough, if you're going to reach the next level, you will need to move through fear, uncertainty, and discomfort. It is your personal vision that keeps you in the game when things become difficult. A compelling personal vision creates passion. Think about something that you are passionate about, and you will always find a clear. What?
You're on the table.
Oh, there we go. Thank you for looking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, send me a message and let me see if it comes through.
It's just showing the table.
Is it?
Oh no, it's not.
And his errands on? Here we go. Let's do this one.
I sent a comment.
Oh, right there. Now, is that on my personal or is that on the business?
It's on your personal.
Oh. So it does work. I just don't have anybody that wants to talk to me.
It's early. They're sleeping.
Right. A compelling personal vision creates passion. Think about something that you are passionate about, and you will always find a clear vision behind it. If you find you're lacking passion in either your business or in a relationship, it's not a crisis of passion, it's a crisis of vision. We will show you how to craft a compelling personal vision and a business vision that aligns with and supports your life goals. All my life, I wanted to be somebody. Now I see I should have been more specific. Lily Tomlin. The first step is to create a personal vision, a vision that clearly captures and articulates what you want in life. The personal vision should define the life you want to live in all areas, including spiritual, relationships, family, income, lifestyle, health, and community. The personal vision creates the foundation for an emotional link to your business and career objectives so that there is a strong alignment between what you pursue in your business and the life you desire to live. Your business vision is most powerful when it is developed in the light of your personal vision. The reason so many people fail to follow through when things become difficult is due to this lack of connection with their personal lives. Your business objectives are not the end in themselves, but the means to an end. Too often, managers and associates plan for business success but fail to connect with the real power source that will enable them to achieve that success. In essence, the personal vision is the reason why we work in the first place. Once you understand the linkage between your life vision and your business success, you can define exactly what level of income or production your business must deliver in order to support your complete vision. Vision provides you with that line of sight, that emotional link to help you overcome the challenges and execute. When the task seems too difficult or unpleasant, you can reconnect with your personal objections and visions. It is this emotional connection that will provide you with the inner strength to forge ahead in spite of any difficulties, thus enabling you to achieve your dreams and desires. So it's basically saying you should set up your personal vision and mold your business vision around your personal vision.
Your personal vision is what makes you do the little daily things that you're not.
Well, it's the motivation. I mean, if it's not something that you're absolutely passionate about, then they're right. It's just going to fall to the side and you're going to go, well, all right.
It's the work to live, not live to work.
Well, I mean, how many times do we, at the first of the year, we create a New Year's resolution and by February, it's gone? I know I do it all the time. Your brain and vision. The brain is an amazing organ. As David Frost once pointed out, it starts working the moment you get up in the morning and doesn't stop until you get into work. Our brains are wonderful, powerful, and inconsistent. Due to its multiple functions, sometimes your brain can seem to be working at cross purposes with itself. Have you ever felt like your brain was in conflict with itself? If so, you're not alone or crazy. There is some groundbreaking research that explains what you're experiencing and offers powerful insights on how you can use your brain more effectively to live the life you desire. Researchers have found that a portion of the brain, the amygdala, reacts negatively when we are facing uncertainty and risk. This response is quite helpful in avoiding danger and staying alive. Unfortunately, when we imagine the future as being vastly different from today, we experience uncertainty because we don't know how to create and maintain the future we are imagining. When this happens, the amygdala kicks in. That's when the part of our brain that avoids risk gets in our way. It seeks to keep us out of uncertain and risky situations. When you start to envision a future that stretches your comfort zone and is significantly bigger and bolder than what you are currently living, the amygdala tries to shut down the process before you do anything that could be detrimental. That's very interesting.
It's so true, too.
Because people do hate change. And it's scientific. Mm-hmm. It's actually your brain going, whoa, hang on here.
That's not status quo.
This is uncomfortable.
Yeah. That's when the part of our brain that avoids risk gets in our way. It seeks to keep us out of uncertain and risky situations. When you start to envision a future that stretches your comfort zone and is significantly bigger, oh, did I just already read all that?
Yeah.
I did. That's the bad news. At one level, we are all wired to resist change and postpone greatness. The good news is there is also a portion of your brain called the prefrontal cortex, or PFC. That acts as a counterbalance to the amygdala. The PFC lights up when you look out over open vistas, and interestingly, when you imagine greatness for yourself in the future. Scientists can track increased electrical impulses in the PFCs of test subjects when they think about a compelling future. Research has also shown that our brains have a powerful capacity to change. In the past, scientists thought that our brains were essentially static after we became adults, but they now know that the brain can change over time. The areas that we use frequently actually grow in the density of neural connections and in size. This capacity for our brains to change is called neuroplasticity. Here's why it's such a big deal. Your brain has the ability to change and develop psychologically, and it does so based on how you use it. That is good news and bad news. The bad news is that unless you intentionally engage the PFC, you are by default relatively strengthening the portion of your brain that resists change and keeps you stuck. The good news is that you can change your brain simply by what you think about. You have the ability to strengthen and develop your brain by thinking about a compelling future for yourself, by regularly and repeatedly thinking about an inspiring vision when you emotionally connect with the life you desire. And here's what may be the best part. When you think about a compelling vision, the neurons that fire in your brain are the same neurons that fire when you act on your vision. What that means is that you can literally train your brain to act on your vision just by thinking about it. The first step, though, is creating an inspiring vision and learning how to stay connected with it. Tell me what it is you plan to do with your one wild and precious life. Mary Oliver. Throw out the annual plan. Once you have a clear vision of where you want to go, you will need a plan to get there. Imagine yourself driving across country on a family vacation without a map. You will probably agree that this is not a good idea. Whatever.
Oh, I did that growing up twice, but it was an adventure. 12-seater Chevy van.
I like this. We need to put this up. A vision without a plan is a pipe dream. Having a plan to achieve your vision and your professional goals is even more essential than having a map to navigate a cross-country trek. Yet the sad truth is that most individuals spend more time planning a trip than they do planning their business. So true. Working from a plan has 3 distinct benefits. Number 1, it reduces mistakes. Number 2, it saves time. And number 3, it provides focus. Planning allows you to think through in advance the best approach to achieving your goals. You make your mistakes on paper, which reduces miscues during implementation. In addition, studies have shown that planning saves significant time and resources. This may seem paradoxical. In fact, many people feel that if they are not constantly doing, they are not productive. The reality is that planning is some of the most productive time you can have.
I knew you were going to point at me.
Just from that one sentence.
Yep.
Doesn't mean you're not being productive.
Yep.
Finally, planning, like a good roadmap, keeps you focused on purpose. This is vital, as there are all kinds of day-to-day distractions to pull you off course. Your plan continually brings you back to the strategically important items. 12-week planning. Like no other approach that we are aware of, 12-week planning delivers these benefits and then some over traditional annual planning. We are not talking about quarterly planning. Remember, that's part of the outdated annualized thinking model. It's exactly where my brain went. Oh, it's just a quarter.
Yep.
With 12-week planning, every 12 weeks stands alone. Every 12 weeks is a new year and a fresh opportunity to be great. 12-week planning also offers 3 additional and distinct differences from annual planning. The first thing that is different with 12-week planning is that it is more predictable than 12-month planning. The farther you plan into the future, the less predictability you have with long-term plans. Assumptions are stacked upon earlier assumptions, which are stacked upon even earlier assumptions. If you're that good at predicting the future, call me. I'd love to talk to you about your stock picks. The reality is that it is very difficult, if not impossible, to determine what your daily actions should be 11 or 12 months into the future. That is why annual plans are generally objective-based. With a 12-week plan, predictability is much greater. You can define, with a high degree of certainty, the actions you need to implement each week over the next 12 weeks. 12-week plans are both numbers and activity-based. They create a strong connection between the actions you take today and the results you want to achieve. The second difference between 12-week planning is that it is more focused. Most annual plans have too many objectives, which is one of the primary reasons execution fails. The reason most plans contain so much is because you're planning for 12 months, laying out all the things you want to achieve over the next 365 days. It's no wonder you become disillusioned and frustrated. You end up spread too thin and diffused, not a recipe for greatness. There will always be more opportunities than you can effectively pursue. With the 12-week year, the approach is to be great at a few things instead of mediocre at many things. In 12-week planning, you identify the top 1 to 3 things that will have the greatest impact and purpose and pursue those with intensity. Let me read that again. In the 12-week planning, you identify the top 1 to 3 things that will have the greatest impact and pursue those with intensity. The 12-week plan focuses on a few key areas and creates the energy and urgency to act. The third thing that is different with the 12-week plans is the structure. It's our experience, most plans are written with the unspoken goal of just developing a good plan. Most often these plans are then placed in a nice binder and rarely get
You know
implemented.
what it's saying? It's saying dial it back to Puerto's, the 20%, and let yourself focus on that.
Focus, hardcore.
Yeah, cool.
Well, I also really like it for our industry right now because with as fast as the market is changing, you can't have the same plan for the whole entire year. Look at what's already happened just since January, right? With like the rates and how slow things were and then how much they've picked up and price changes and
Yeah, oh yeah.
like interest rate, like, so it makes sense to me for that 12 weeks that you'd have a different strategy.
It really does, because you can manipulate and adjust every quarter.
Setting goals. The whole point of planning should be to help you identify and implement the critical few actions that you need to take to reach your goal. If planning didn't help you execute better, there would be no reason to plan. However, the sad fact is that most plans are not written with implementation in mind. So true. Think about it. When you do goals, do you write out how you're going to achieve that goal? Do you like itemize it out exactly how you're going to get there? Nope, you just put down a goal. And then guess what? A day later, you forget about it.
Unless you have it taped up.
The way the plan is structured and how it is written impacts your ability to effectively execute. Effective planning strikes a working balance between too much complexity and too little detail. Your plan should start by identifying your overall goal or goals for the 12 weeks. The goal defines success for the 12-week year. It represents a great 12 weeks and also represents intentional progress towards your long-term vision. If you don't know where you are going, you'll end up someplace else. Yogi Berra.
That's a good one.
Once you have established your 12-week goals, tactics will then need to be determined. The easiest way to do this is to break your 12-week goal down to its individual parts. For example, if your 12-week goal is to earn $10,000 and lose 10 pounds, you should write tactics for your income goal and your weight loss goal separately. Tactics are the daily to-dos that drive the attainment of your goals. Tactics must be specific, actionable, and include due dates and assigned responsibilities. We'll have more to say on how to write effective tactics a little later in the application section. The 12-week plan is structured so that if the tactics are completed on a timely basis, the goals are achieved. Remember, in order to keep from losing your way with the 12-week focus, you will need to align your 12-week plan to your long-term vision. A 12-week plan is powerful. It allows you to focus on what's important now. Remember that the 12-week plan is not part of an annual plan. That's old annualized thinking. 12 weeks is long enough to get things done, and yet it is short enough to create and maintain a sense of urgency. For top performers, 12-week plans provide a step-by-step roadmap that eliminates diffusion and delays and demands immediate action. Should we be good there?
Yeah, I like that.
I'm liking this one so far.
Me too.
Yeah, I do too. I want to reread this. Tactics are the daily to-dos that drive the attainment of your goals. Tactics must be specific, actionable, and include due dates and assigned responsibilities. It says we can go to www.12weekyear.com/getting started for examples.
Cool.
Good stuff. Yeah, I'm excited to see how they, I mean, if you really do think about it, when you're breaking it down to 12 weeks, man, it's not that long.
It probably makes things feel like they go faster.
Way faster.
It'll entertain. It'll help you stay intense.
We're gonna have to keep each
So
other.
the challenge for the day is each of us need to sit down and write at least, what did he say, 1 to 3 very specific goals that we want to attain in the next 12 weeks.
Yeah, and I also think over
Actually,
the, it's writing your vision, right?
Yes, but it was 1 to 3 things that will make the greatest impact. So it's 1 to 3 action items that are going to be the biggest impact towards what your goals are
in the next 12 weeks.
I think it'll help if we help with that.
Yeah. So that's the assignment for the day. Go back to the 12 weeks and write very specific goals and actions to achieve those goals only for the next 12 weeks, not after 12 weeks. So over the next 3 months, what it is you want to accomplish in that 3-month period.
We should get online too and look up the examples that they have.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, and write down the vision because it has to.
Yeah, the
still
vision's
fit
got to be the
overall
well,
vision.
how